We all know Dory from Finding Nemo. She's one of the most recognizable characters of Disney Pixar Entertainment, so recognizable to the fact that she even got her own sequel, which would end up outselling Shrek 2 as the highest grossing film in all of America of all time. That said, Dory is known for many attributes, mainly and most notably her quirk, or rather her chronic illness, is her short-term memory loss. I'm here to address why that's not entirely what she has. And basically, to start, we're going to address what is short-term memory. To address that, let's address what is memory. Memory is information. Through our senses, every single day we get a surplus of information going through our eyes, our ears, our mouth, tongue, everything. All of this information goes through our short-term memory to our long-term memory. That said, we have so much information being stored all the time that we can't store it. We just can't fit it all. So, naturally, we have to put it somewhere. We have to throw it somewhere. We have to discard it. This is what short-term memory does. And that's why it is short-term. It gets rid of it. It tosses it away. It's why a lot of our memories end up as something that we kind of misinterpret or fully forget, or we just never bring up in general. Naturally, let's bring up the concept of short-term memory loss. This would mean what you're always doing is you're losing your short-term memory, which is what everyone is constantly doing. Which, in contrast to what Dory is doing, Dory is also retaining long-term memory and keeping short-term memory when it is important. She can maintain a conversation. She can remember her parents eventually. She can remember Marlin and Nemo eventually. She remembers how to speak whale and how to speak human. All of this is because of her long-term memory as it passed through her short-term memory. But the issue is when she wants to get it, she can't, not willingly. And that is a retrieval or a recall problem. That is not necessarily that she loses short-term memory, is that she is not consciously able to reach for her short-term memory. So what is this issue called? Well, it is a chronic illness explicitly called retrograde or anterograde amnesia. Now, a lot of people say it's only anterograde amnesia, but I would argue that it's a mixture of both, considering that she has been having this amnesia ever since her birth. Thus, her not being able to remember from the start of the movies to her childhood and from her childhood forward makes both types of amnesia the chronic illness she suffers from. So why is this important? Basically, when addressing this in the movies, Disney and Pixar are trying to teach kids, essentially, about this disability. And while I'm not necessarily trying to dig at them for making an attempt at teaching about or bringing awareness to this, there is a bit of an issue at the misunderstanding of this information, the misinformation being given to these kids. And especially in Finding Dory, where a lot of the themes are individuals who have chronic illnesses and disabilities, then going through a form of rehab and coming back into the ocean, and into society. Disney Pixar did a good job with this film, with both films. And I'm just doing this to address the issue with how they represented this kind of amnesia, this chronic illness. And I just hope that something was taught, something was provided, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.